Hi there, Sue Staff. I'm back again. As I promised, I mentioned to you that I was going to show you some of the samples of this month's paper pumpkin. Actually, March's paper pumpkin. I'm a little behind. So watch this and hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks. Okay, so here are the card kits that are from this March 2018 paper pumpkin kit. And it's called May Good Things Grow, again, March 2018. And I have the 3 sample cards, but then I have a bunch of alternatives that I have done with some of the paper. It was so pretty and there were so many embellishments. I have a bunch left and you'll be amazed at everything I've done. So this is the first one. And again, these are what you get instructions for and what comes standard in the kit. And this one just says, "May good things grow all year long." And that is like that. And that's one. And then the second one is this one. And it says, "What a beautiful friendship we've grown." And again, using some of the embellishments on there. I haven't stamped the inside yet. I like to wait until I know who I'm sending it to. And then this is one that uses that floral spray that's a punch out. And it's a birthday card, as you can see. Great colors. I like that one. And then this one is, actually I cut apart the bags that were in the kit. And I made it into a card, and I prefer the standard A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I have envelopes that fit that, so I prefer using those in my cards. So I've modified most of the ones that I made into that size. So this is one that I took apart the bag, and by bag, I'll show you what I mean. They sent 8 of these bags. This is one of them. And it has little clasps. You put the goodies in there. And you'll see how I actually used this in one of them, but I have a slew of stuff left. As soon as I get done showing you all these cards, I'm going to show you what all I got left. And if I have time, I'll take you through actually making one of the cards, how my thought process goes in putting this together. This is the seed packet one. And you can see I just kind of cut it at a swoop there. And I used that one stamp set. These are all stamp sets and materials that come in the paper pumpkin. The only thing that I have used is a couple of scrap papers that I had in my stash. And like this background on this, it's Flirty Flamingo. That is something I had in my stash. So that's the rose. And then this is the, okay, this was the bottom of that seed packet. And this one is the top. And you can see what a different look I got out of the two. Again, just a scrap of basic black cardstock. And I also put on our beautiful little gems in the center of that flower. They're so sparkly, I just love them. So that's that. And then another one, this is the one, the bag that I just showed you. And I put that, I took apart one of the base cards. That's what this is, a fresh fig. And then I cut that bag and I put it at an angle on this card. And then I took some of the punch outs and I layered them. And then I used that stamp that says, "What a beautiful friendship we've grown." I think that's so pretty. And I have several great friends that I like to share cards with on a regular basis. So that's that one. The next one just says hello. And this one I started using some of the wood embellishments on here. And it is layered, it's up with pop dots. I also used some of that beautiful ribbon, made me a nice little bow there. This is one of the strips that are there, and this is the back of that. I hated to cut open that seed packet one, but this is actually the paper that's on the back of it, or the inside of it. So use that. And then this one is the card size that they give you. And I decided to do one this size. I just thought, you know, let's go with something chromatic here, monochromatic. So a wood embellishment and just a little green leaf, otherwise it's the crumb cake. And I did use my basic black for the background. And then this is one I thought I would try just doing a couple different layers. And the scallop piece is actually the top of the bag. here, which I cut off, and I added one of those strips that are self-adhesive, and then this is one of the inside pieces. So I put the leaves on there, and then I layered used dimensionals to make the flower pop up. These are the little curlicue designs that I put in the corner, and that's one of the stamps that are in the set. And if you, this is the stamp set again. It has the flower, the 3-leaf cluster, the sentiments that we talked about, and there's that little curlicue for the corner. So you get all these stamps in this set. The only one I didn't use is this one that says Happy Mother's Day. So I might have to keep going and make something there, but I decided I better stop because I didn't want the video to go on forever and ever. But this is all of the stuff I have left. These are 4 of the cards that are left, 2 crumb cake and 2 of the fig. And then I have, oh, wait till you see this. I have all of these parts left. And I have 2 bags left, so I could make the cards and put them in this bag and decorate it. These are some of the scraps. Again, these were from the inside of the card, or they were DSP that were provided. This is the inside of that card again. I love that lemon lime twist. More of this paper. Imagine all the cards you can make with these. I mean, you saw a few of them that I had made, but there's just endless possibilities here. I could work on this all night. And this is one piece that I didn't cut up yet, that is the flower seeds piece with the pink rose on it. And it has a very retro antique type look, and I think that's really popular right now, and it's a great way to adorn your cards. Now these were the pop-outs, the punch-outs that you could glue on, and as you can see, I only really used, on all of those extra cards, I only used 1 of the flower clusters. So I have 2 of those big flower clusters. And what I actually did was I cut them apart so that I had 2 sections. These little labels here are really nice. They have a little extra feature on it. The little dots go around there. And the punch out cards individually for the flowers to put on your cards. There's just so many different opportunities here. And this is one of the pieces from that rose cluster that I cut out that I haven't used yet. And I think if this was on a yellow background, that would be beautiful. I have 2 of the fancy little labels left to stamp on. These are those strips that are self-adhesive, and I pulled one off by mistake. So I'm gonna stick that back down there. But I thought I'd show you my thought process with all this stuff. I only used a couple of the brads so far, so I have some decorative brads and then more papers. But I thought I'd show you my thought process on this, and I have a few things here. The wood embellishments you can actually stamp on. So I stamped Happy Birthday on this. But what I do, let me show you all the wood embellishments that I have left. Before I get started here, look at all this good stuff. These are all wood embellishments that I have left to be creative with. So I have a lot, and I will use them eventually. But I wanted to show you, like I mentioned, the thought process that I go through when I look at creating something like this. And I want to put a base on here, and then I'm going to put this on. I'm going to give a little bit of a border. And I'm also going to put this on the edge. I haven't decided if I want to do it this way. I think that way. That looks a little bit better. Let me find my snail. Oops, that's not it. There it is. And let's put this together. Let's get this party started. Okay. And I'm going to stick that right here. I'm going to center it. And I'm going to put this on top. I'm going to center that inside the fresh fig. Oops, my paper's moving here a little bit. And then I decided that I was going to do this on the side here, edge of this one. I think that looks good. And I'm not going to worry about that little pinhole that's in there because we're going to cover that up with some of those beautiful flowers. So I'm going to put that in the center of those. And same color, different look. So I like how that works. And I'm going to get my liquid glue out, and I'm just going to glue these on. I'm going to glue with the more natural color on the outside. You could use the white or the more natural color, or crumb cake color I call it, but I think that that will be quite nice. And I'm going to, scooch those over. I'm going to do one of the little solid ones. And I'm going to put that over here. And then I have this nice long stem. And I'm going to stick that on here. This glue will dry clear, thank goodness. And some leaves to stick in here. See how easy these come together. Now, I thought about this a few minutes before I turned the tape on, I'll be honest. But really, I looked to see what was left and what I wanted to put together. And I hadn't used too many of the wood embellishments, and like you saw, I have quite a few of them, so I thought, let's use some of those. I'm going to do this little leaf here. Little leaf cluster, I guess it is. And where do I want to put him? Maybe right down there. And I have a couple individual leaves that I think I'll spread out. And I'll put, they don't necessarily have to be touching, just kind of floating out there. I think that's a little bit different look. And I'll put that there. Now, I have a pretty bow, and I have this nice birthday sentiment. So I'm going to take that. Let's see, do I want to put a bow and the sentiment? I think I'll just get crazy and do both of them. So let me grab a glue dot. I like to adhere my bows with the glue dots. So let me grab a glue dot, and I will put that bow on first, and then I'll put the wooden piece under it. So I'm just going to put that right on there. And I'll put that right at the top. And I thought about doing the string through here, but I think I just want the wood pieces to be the star of the show. You can see I stamped that on both sides because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the white or the brown, but I thought with that crumb cake in there that this natural color looked a lot better. So I'll glue that on. And this is, actually I'm doing this upside down, aren't I? So there's that happy birthday. And there's another card. And look at all the stuff I still have to work with. I did mention to you that I have a stash of scrap pieces of paper that I use frequently on cards. And I thought I'd share with you how I do that. I have 3 different folders. And these are just inexpensive folders. Actually, I got them at Target in the dollar aisle. But I have them marked. I have blue in this one, along with teal, green, and purple. And I try and keep scraps that are at least a 6x6 piece. And some of these are old retired colors, some of them are still active colors, but I try and keep, like I say, anything that's at least 6x6. And I have 3 of these, and that way whenever I'm getting creative, like instances like this where I want to do some alternative uses with some of the cards and the equipment, I will get out some of those scraps, and they're great for using on punches if you want to put a lot of stuff behind. They just really are a very, very useful tool. And like I say, I started keeping all my scraps, but before I knew it, I was way overloaded with scraps of paper. So I decided I better limit myself to the 6x6. I'm just looking at this piece here, And I noticed it here in the bin. Wouldn't that be cool? Kind of put something over here and maybe a message up here. That's how my mind works. It just goes off and I never know where it's going or when it's going to stop. But I love creating. I love sharing with you. I hope you enjoy the videos. And please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. I look forward to getting together with you on the YouTube channel again soon. And happy stamping!